This is the Barbados Today afternoon news for Thursday, November 2nd. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary-Claire Williams. A warning that urgent changes are needed to Barbados's development model to avoid the economy from stalling. It comes from the former Prime Minister Owen Arthur, who says that for too long Barbados has followed a Nordic model which focuses on providing welfare services. Arthur added that while the Nordic countries have become more technologically advanced societies, Barbados continues to rely on two sectors to provide economic growth, while at the same time implementing a raft of taxes.
Barbados will fail if it does not embark on a similar endeavor. The essential challenge, therefore, facing the Barbados society is that it too has called such a new technological dynamism into existence to drive its development in order to replace and to redress the imbalances in the old order of things.
Arthur further argued that for too long Barbados has focused only on the tourism and international business sectors despite constantly evolving landscape. And he warns that this is a recipe for disaster if the island does not respond quickly.
And apart from a pronounced emphasis on the investment in the development of its human capital, Barbados has not placed a heavy premium on innovation as a driver of its national development. Today I say to you that a developmental model based on protectionism, trade preferences, unique tax benefits, and on economic sectors which do not make the fullest use of our human capital will lead Barbados into an economic cul-de-sac. In consequence, the country needs urgently to make recourse to a model of development in which innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship becomes the principal drivers of its economic and social activity.
Arthur was addressing the final day of the second annual Innovate Barbados conference at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center this morning on the topic Smart Can Be Small. Meanwhile, CEO of the BIDC, Sonia Trotman, says there are a number of challenges hindering the island's competitiveness, which require sustainable, innovative solutions.
In Barbados today, we are confronted with high operating costs, less than effective levels of productivity, very limited investments in research and development. Yet we expect to find solutions for all the problems that constrain our competitiveness. If we are to find ways to lower operating costs, if we are going to turn scarcities into opportunities, we must explore, experiment, test, employ new thinking, and expand on old processes or techniques. We must seek to add value to our businesses via innovation. Innovation in our environment of scarcity must, however, be pragmatic. Solutions must address real human needs.
In other news this afternoon, law enforcement officials are defending themselves against accusations of heavy-handedness towards black Bajans while favoring whites and Indians. The president of the Barbados Youth Action Program, Lamumba Batson, leveled the accusations last night, saying that young blacks see the police as a threat. He was speaking at the first in a series of town hall meetings on the topic tackling gun violence in our communities. The discussion was held at the Princess Margaret Secondary School in St. Philip and sponsored by the Judicial Research and Planning Unit.
The police in certain communities in Barbados are looked upon as being a threat, right? Because they're meant, so you'll have to go to these communities if you're really serious and not just surface investigation. Go to these communities and ask these youths, why you feel this way towards the police? Why? And you will get the things that you may hear, you may not like, but it's a reality that exists in certain communities in Barbados.
But the Assistant Police Commissioner Erwin Boyce and Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite both defended the lawmen, saying communities should instead come forward with information on crime.
I'm not sure what communities he are talking about in terms of police being a threat. Actually, he left it kind of high, so I'm not really sure what you mean by police being a threat or seen as a threat. As a matter of fact, we should be seen as a threat. A threat insists on law and order. We should be seen as a threat as it relates to crime prevention strategies and that sort of thing. So I am not quite sure how or what direction is going in terms of, and I think you need to share some information with me so that we can get together and create a response that would reduce the level of uncertainty and threat that he has spoken to.
The police only goes where the evidence, where the information leads them. And this section of our population who believes that their whites and Indians and stuff were protected, if they have the information, as Irving correctly said, give us the information. Because if the police, as they have done, don't mind who you are, how senior you are in the Royal Barbados Police Force, and you break the law, they're brought before the courts, why do you believe that because you're white or Indian that you get some special treatment? If you have information, please, share.
A St. Michael man is due in court today on several drugs and firearms charges. Ryan Jason Green of Pile Bay Spring Garden was arrested after members of the anti-gun unit executed a search warrant at his home. They found 3 firearms and 32 rounds of ammunition. A subsequent search of his vehicle revealed a 4th firearm and 67 rounds of ammunition. Green was charged with 4 counts of unlawful possession of 4 firearms, 2 counts of unlawful possession of ammunition, and unlawful possession of cannabis, and unlawful possession with intent to supply, as well as trafficking of cannabis. He is due in the District A Magistrates Court.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Join us from November 16th to 19th, 2017 for the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, where acclaimed Barbadian chefs and mixologists are joined by Chef Jean-Georges of the US, Chef Tom Akins of the UK, Chef Chris De La Rosa of Canada to create dining experiences to delight the senses. Visit ticketpal.com and all TicketPal locations to get your tickets, and visit foodandrum.com for more information.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back with news from the region, and the government of St. Lucia is seeking the support of its allies to boost its climate resilience. We get the details in this report from HTS News Force in Castries.
Minister with responsibility for external affairs, Sarah Flood-Beaubrun, argues that small island development states like St. Lucia are threatened by a number of issues which stifle sustainable development and thus needs allies like Mexico to champion their cause. Flood-Beaubrun was referring to her recent overseas trip with Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Economic Growth and Job Creation Alan Chasney and the delegation that included a state visit to Mexico. The trip was an opportunity to discuss ways Mexico could help enhance St. Lucia's agriculture, tourism, investment sectors. According to Flood-Beaubrun, in the changing global environment, SIDS needs to strengthen ties with allies.
We had a state visit to Mexico, which proved extremely useful. Mexico has become more and more a close friend to St. Lucia. You will recall, well, we do have a mission here of Mexico, and we've had ambassadors here who've been working very hard. And the presidential visit was, the state visit rather, was an opportunity to solidify that relationship. You know that there are many issues that we face as Caribbean countries in the world, and we need allies like Mexico to champion the cause of small island states. Our vulnerability was a major issue.
This year, a number of Caribbean territories have been devastated by catastrophic hurricanes. Flood-Beaubrun contends that with the region's history of traumatic and natural events, it is difficult to obtain overseas development assistance.
And on the international scene, Catalonia's secessionist leaders arrived in court in Madrid this morning to answer to charges of rebellion and sedition, even though the region's former president said he would not show up. The Prime Minister, Mario Rajoy, sacked the government on Friday, hours after the Catalan Parliament made a unilateral declaration of independence. That vote was largely boycotted by the opposition and declared illegal by the Spanish courts. The former leader and his former team were summoned by the High Court. And that's news this afternoon. Remember, you can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune in to Mix 96.9 FM for more news. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good afternoon.